Chinese vernacular architecture. This time, we're going to take a closer look at the temple house in the heart of Chengdu, China. Located in the Chunxi Road commercial district, the temple house was designed in July 2015 and is an integral part of Chengdu's history as it takes inspiration from the nearby 1,000-year-old Daxi Temple and the unique architectural traditions of the Sichuan region. Moving on to philosophy. The temple house is designed based on the philosophy of Feng Shui, which means the balance of positive and negative energies. It brings about comfort and family prosperity as well as keeping evil spirits away architecturally. Ways to achieve this is by surrounding walls, by high windows, by screen walls, and by using timber. Feng Shui is heavily linked to Taoism. That's right, the religion deeply rooted in ancient China. In the case of the temple house, Taoism goes hand in hand with Confucianism. Taoism is the natural way of life. Confucianism finds harmony between opposite features. The rooms are based on hierarchic positions and family structure to establish space order at home. The room facing south belongs to the head of the family. The rooms adjoining the main house, side houses, belong to the younger generations. To balance the positive and negative, the temple house applies axiality and cardinal orientation. The layout of the temple house clears a middle path for people to enter the space. The central courtyard acts as a flexible space for circulation and to connect the outside. Cosmology. In reference of the metaphor of the old cosmos view, heaven was circular and earth was squared. Therefore, the temple house implemented circular and squared elements into its design. While we're on the topic of layout, the first aspect that we're going to look into is the layout of the house. In 3, 2, Siheyuan courtyard means 4 closed gardens. 4 houses surround the courtyard. The 4 houses do not touch. A garden surrounds the courtyard. The garden connects the exterior and interior. The innermost house is taller than the sides. Siheyuan are oriented to face south, and adjacent parts of the house face inwards to protect the Siheyuan from harsh weather. Skywall of the Siheyuan allow for flush cooling system within the building through ventilation. Subsequently, the rain will flow down the roof and onto the grounds of the Siheyuan, symbolizing wealth that comes and does not go. And now, we approach the elements of the house which are very much inspired by Chinese wooden architecture. The architecture usually consists of 3 main features: the huge foundation platform, the timber frame, the wooden ceiling with decorated roof. An instance of the use of the architecture is within its wood-bearing systems, Tailiang, Chuandou, and Miliang Pingding. The temple implements Chuandou structural system and uses extensively more pillars to create a deeper structure that allows a more segmented plan, therefore allowing the house to have a complex spatial arrangement. Another essence of traditional Chinese architecture are the antique wooden doors and windows. Most of the traditional doors and windows seen today were made during the Ming and Qing dynasties. In context of the temple house, the wooden doors and windows display intricate geometric patterns. The Chinese lattice design used in the temple house is known as Chengdu-style lattice design, an important style from the Qing dynasty. The geometric elements of lines and corners from these lattice design symbolizes the strength of laws and regulations. Moving on is the roof. There are 3 main types of roof in Chinese architecture: straight-inclined, multi-inclined, and sweeping. The temple house implements the sweep roofing. Sweeping roofs are curved on the inclines and rises on the edges. These types are limited in palaces and temples where they are decorated with ornaments, but are occasionally found in high-class construction of the wealthy. Vernacular Chinese roofs are commonly made of Chinese glazed roof tiles. There are 2 types, mainly glazed tubular tiles and glazed plate tiles. As we are on the topic of materials, the temple house combines modern design with traditional local architectural elements such as timber, brick, stepstones, and bamboo. Due to the complex conditions of services and accessibility to the property, the house uses the ancient building material adobe. An example would be the facade. Inspired by the Sichuan region's strong history, the temple house features a perforated brickwork pattern with the window and spandrel patterns. Not neglecting the fundamental material, timber was used to construct the structural system of the building. The use of timber as a main material to construct a building can be pinpointed at the cultural spirit of the Chinese, that is the respect for nature and life.